There are moments in life that test us so deeply they seem almost unbearable. These are not the storms we see coming, the ones that give us time to prepare. These are the quiet, invisible earthquakes that begin within the very walls of our own homes. For many, family is supposed to be the place of unconditional love, of safety, of belonging. Yet for some of us, that same place has felt more like a battlefield than a sanctuary. If you've ever carried the weight of feeling unseen, unappreciated, or misunderstood by those closest to you, then this message is for you. It's not for the faint of heart. It's for those who have stood in the fire of rejection and still found the strength to rise again. From the earliest years of your life, you may have sensed that something about you was different. You couldn't always explain it. Sometimes you couldn't even name it. But it was there, a quiet awareness that you were not like everyone else around you. For some, this difference was treated as a gift. For others, it was misunderstood, criticized, even resented. Think back for a moment. Were there times when your joy felt too loud for those around you? Times when your silence was mistaken for weakness? Times when your questions were dismissed as defiance? The truth is, many of us have been told in one way or another that we are too much or not enough, too outspoken, too sensitive, too strong-willed, too emotional, and each of those judgments carried a hidden message: change who you are or you won't belong. And so, like so many others, you may have tried. You tried reshaping yourself into the version you thought would finally be accepted. You adjusted your tone, softened your words, even masked your emotions. You played small when you wanted to shine, or laughed at jokes that hurt you just to keep the peace. Each compromise felt like it might be the one that would finally unlock the love you longed for. But the truth is, no matter how much of yourself you gave up, it was never enough. The approval stayed out of reach, always shifting, always slipping further away. With each attempt, the cost grew heavier, because piece by piece, you were losing yourself. This is where shame begins its quiet work, not all at once, but drip by drip, like water seeping into cracks. Shame whispers things like, maybe they're right about me. Maybe I really am the problem. Maybe I don't deserve love unless I earn it. Those thoughts become constant companions, fueling self-doubt, feeding anxiety, stealing the sense of worth you were meant to carry. For some, this inner battle leads to silence and isolation, a pulling away from the world out of fear of being hurt again. For others, it shows up as anger at oneself, anger at others, or even destructive choices made in an attempt to escape the ache inside. But then something shifts. Maybe you witness a glimpse of what love could look like, in a friend's home, in a mentor's kindness, or even in a story you read or a family you observe. You see parents who celebrate their children's individuality. You see siblings who stand together rather than compete. You see relationships built not on control, but on care. And what rises inside you isn't envy, it's grief. Grief for what you didn't receive. Grief for the love you were designed for, but denied. And strangely enough, that grief becomes a turning point. Because grief is honest. It names the truth. You deserved better. Here's what you must know. And I want you to take this deep into your heart. It was never you. You were never the problem. You became the mirror onto which others projected their insecurities, their disappointments, their fears. Your light, instead of being embraced, exposed what they didn't want to see in themselves. And so, rather than celebrating it, they tried to extinguish it. But you are still here, and that is proof of your resilience. The rejection you endured has not diminished your value, it has revealed your strength. The criticism you faced was not evidence of your weakness, it was a reflection of their inability to understand, and the shame you carried was never yours to begin with. It belonged to those who placed it on you. This is your moment of awakening. The truth is this: you were never meant to fit into their mold. You were born to break free from it. Your worth has never depended on anyone's approval, not even your family's. The fact that you've survived what was meant to break you is evidence that your story is far from over. In fact, it is only just beginning. As you start to step into your own strength, the dynamics often change. Those who once had control may panic when they realize they can no longer shape you into their version of who you should be. They may twist the story, casting you as the ungrateful one, the selfish one, the villain in their narrative. They may accuse you of walking away, of abandoning them, of becoming cold. But you and I both know the truth. Choosing peace is not abandonment. Choosing boundaries is not cruelty. Choosing yourself is not selfishness. Every time you draw a boundary, you teach others how to treat you. Every time you walk away from manipulation, you reclaim your power. Every time you refuse to argue when someone only seeks to provoke, you protect your peace. And yes, there will still be moments when the old wounds ache, when their words cut deeper than you expect, when you wonder if you're doing the right thing. In those moments, remember this: you are not defined by anyone else's inability to love you the way you deserve. You are defined by the truth that you are worthy of love, of respect, of belonging, exactly as you are.